Welcome back to Autism Live. So thrilled right now, thrilled and dismayed because we are here with Dina Kimmel from We Rock the Spectrum. So that's the part that we're thrilled about, and we're thrilled that she brought Michael Cohen with her. He is part of the ownership team of the We Rock the Spectrum gym in Glendale. For those of you who have never, if you haven't seen a We Rock the Spectrum gym, then you haven't been watching Autism Live. These are amazing gyms that are sensory gyms that, your motto is the place where nobody ever has to say they're sorry. And we love you, and we love your gyms, and we love what happens at your gyms. That's why we have our annual Sensitive Santa at a We Rock the Spectrum gym. We have been to the Glendale gym before for events. It's a unique We Rock the Spectrum gym because it's tailored towards, you have all the essential equipment that's in every We Rock, but you have things that are for teenagers. So I have a particular love for both you and Deborah and what you're doing there. So, but something horrible has happened. Talk to us a little bit, Dina, about why we need to be here and talk about the dismay part. What's going on?
Well, the beauty of our world, right, is it's huge, but it's really small. I've actually known Michael's wife, Deborah, since she was first pregnant with their son, who is now, he's 18 now, isn't
19.
Harry? 19? 18, yes. Their son's 18, and, the world runs full circle, and 6 years ago, she contacted me and said, hey, I hear that you've got this, gym, and you're starting to franchise out. We want to be a part of it. And they began their journey. But they did something different in their location. Okay, Michael is a musician, okay, he plays the drums. They have this amazing, room for drums and music room where people can do that. He and Deborah both have been in, acting as well. They've done, these incredible, choirs and plays. And they have a surfboard, okay? They have a surfboard
Right.
that's a table there where the kids hang out. They truly wanted to build this gym, to cater to their family, and that's really the best owners in the We Rock the Spectrum family. They've been insanely devoted. Michael's been working with special needs kids even before he became father to Harry, right?
Both Deb and I,
Yeah.
with various different companies. I worked for Easter Seals for like 15 years, and then Deb with various different companies, including a couple of them that did acting and stuff like that. That she would incorporate the different people with disabilities into the plays and productions.
Your
That's
story
right.
is amazing, and it's important, and even your love story should be featured in a Hallmark movie, right? Because it's an amazing story, and now you've reached this place where you've created something that's not only good for the two of you and for your son, but for the community. And it's all in jeopardy now.
It's a necessity. I mean, really, it's a necessity. There's no other We Rock the Spectrum that can cater to the tweens and teens like their We Rock. It's got, 25-foot, 30-foot tall ceilings, and just how they have it set up. It's the whole vibe there. I mean, really, people come from all over the world, right, to see We Rock the Spectrum. They come to the flagship gym in Tarzana, and of course they love it, but then they go into Glendale.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, 3 hours later, I'm like, are you guys coming back to train in Tarzana? We're still hanging out here in Glendale with Michael and Deb here. And they just love it. It's got this great
special.
vibe. Well, Deb and Michael, a handful of months ago, towards the beginning of the year, came to me and said, listen, this is what's going on with Harry. As unfortunately with our system, the kids, they age out, and there's nowhere for them to go.
Yeah.
So they are very hands-on parents, and they said, listen, we need to pass the baton on to somebody else. And of course, I was heartbroken. Their family, and again, incredibly devoted owners, and they've been with me since the beginning. But all of a sudden, we started this journey, and we get these interested parties, who wanted to come on board, and that's when we had to begin the dialogue with the landlord. Well, then came back the landlord saying that he wanted the rent to be at $10,000 a month, which is, double what the rent is. So anyone who knows, what we do, this is a labor of love. We're not in this to be rich. It's, yes, you can make a living and pay your bills, but this is not, a business for that nature. They're at their 5-year renewal, so their option was supposed to kick in, and unfortunately that law didn't pass, the rent control. And so he can do whatever he wants to do and jack it up. We've been back and forth for months, and it's been so painful, very, very painful for all of us, especially Deb and Mike. Their, life's work is in there.
Yeah.
Everything financially that they had went in there, emotionally, physically. Both their kids have grown up there. Harry found his voice there. Michael will tell you more. But we're stuck.
Yeah.
We tried to negotiate with the landlord, and his words were, well, we'd rather have this place vacant for a year.
Which is
Then,
unbelievable.
yeah, then
But
reduce the rent.
let's watch just, you guys have made a video.
We have.
And let's watch just the first minute of it, because we want you to go to the site and watch the whole video. But let's watch just the first minute of it so you can see some of the amazing shots of this gym and the emotion behind what's happening here. Let's go ahead and roll that, Gabe.
The families that come here, a lot of kids, a lot of them have grown actually since we've been here. They were coming when they were younger. It's been 5 years. Socialization skills have improved, verbal skills have improved, appropriate behavior has improved. Easily half our kids are on the spectrum that come to this gym. It's not like there's just a handful. For the ones that are not on the spectrum, it's an educational place to be.
If the worst case scenario happens and we can no longer call ourselves the owner of We Rock the Spectrum Glendale, I hope that people will remember a fun place that opened doors to resources for their family, that created memories, that we know we have a website and Facebook pages full of pictures of kids and their families spending quality time here.
What you just saw there was the first minute of this really incredible video that you guys can go and see. There's lots of places where they can go and see it. Like on your, is it on your Facebook page? Where else can they see it?
It's all over social media. We've now sent it on to CBS, you know, all the local news stations. I mean, this is, of course, happening to us here in the We Rock family and personally to Deb and Mike, but it's happening everywhere here. It's happening.
Yes.
People are losing their businesses of 20, 30 years. It's awful. But also, you know, on their YouTube channel and on Corporate's YouTube channel, and it's on their site as well.
So we want to encourage you to go and look at the video and see more of the community talking about the impact that this gym has had on the community. This isn't just, you know, it's so easy for people to dismiss and say, well, it's just a business, and a lot of businesses are going through this. But where does it stop? And it isn't just a business. This is a community center. It is a place where families go and count on. One of the things that was so moving to me was that one of the people that you had on the video is a mom whose husband died. Mm-hmm. And she said, I had no place to go with my son, and this became a second home. So, all right, what can we do and what can our viewers do so that we can, is there anything that we can do to help you to convince this landlord to stop, that this is not okay, that he can't just run over you and he can't just run over us and our community? What do you think, you guys? What is there an action point, a letter to write? What do you think?
Well, yeah, if I remember right in the beginning of the video, there's a link, or maybe in the end, I can't remember, on basically who to harass, to let them, to voice your opinion and let them know, you know, not to be the typical money grubbing, landlord, and cut this, at least this one business, some slack, and because it does truly serve the community. Easily half our kids are on the spectrum, and in the summer we're serving up to about 700 families, and then in the non-peak seasons it's still easily like 400 to 500.
Well, and he's got to think about it, because you bring in a lot of foot traffic into that shopping plaza.
Yeah,
they go, I know when we were there, we went and got something at the little coffee shop right next door. So having you there is helping keeping the other businesses in business. And he doesn't care. And he said, I would rather let it sit empty for a year and
not get the rent that he wants.
And I just want to say to him, well, we can arrange for that to sit empty for 5 years.
He doesn't know the power of the special needs community. That's what this landlord doesn't know, because if God forbid the the thing that happens that we're dreading that it would happen, and this gym has to close its doors, there will be families picketing. Okay, that center.
Absolutely. We can arrange to
time.
have 5 people walking in front of that door for the next 5 years.
That's exactly right.
Every day. There are enough of us that we could take turns and do that to make sure that no business wants to go in and pay that.
Exactly.
So he needs to know that he's dealing with a group of people that are serious and this is important to us. What's your deadline? How soon is he saying that you have to make a decision and sign a lease?
The lease is up at the end of March.
Okay, so we've
Yeah.
got a couple of minutes
We've got,
here.
Exactly, but we're looking for people to contact the local council member, get them involved, get, the deputy involved who works, right by his side, write us letters into corporate, please. We're also, of course, hoping for a miracle that there's possibly an investor out there who has a special needs child and wants to give back and, maybe can, again, fulfill that other half that we're missing, what the landlord wants.
Is this
for the rent.
Is this landlord person at all interested in selling the building?
Not that it's been expressed to us, but we kind of get the feeling he's going to raise the rent till everybody leaves and then probably tear the building down and develop something else. That's
Yeah.
what we
That's
suspect.
Didn't he just buy
but
it, Michael?
They
It's a new
bought
landlord.
It's been 2 or 3 years now that they've had it.
Okay.
So everybody who was already there, their lease is now coming up.
Right.
And
right.
so, he's doubling the rent on everybody. We understand, you invest in a building, you want money, but to do it to everybody,
Yeah.
that makes us suspect that, he wants to put something
plus
else there.
which there are reasonable rent. I mean, when it's a rental for people to live there, we have laws that say that you
Exactly.
can't raise it more
Yeah.
than a certain percentage. Like I think
Exactly, yeah.
3% is the limit.
3% is the limit.
And in commercial real estate, a lot of times they put a cap on it that say at the most 10%. So to raise it 100%, he's out of
Yeah.
his mind.
It's ridiculous.
It's inhuman.
And
It's
we've
not-
said we'll pay
it's
the
not good
10%.
business, right?
We actually,
we offered them a reasonable increase, and they turned it down.
Wow. Okay, so we can write letters to city council. We can write testimonial letters saying how important having a gym like this is to the community, so that you can have them ready to show. Maybe we need to start a petition of people who are willing to picket and be in front of the building for the next 5 years to show this
Absolutely.
person. I use
Exactly.
the term loosely. Because sometimes people don't get it. If they're all about money, they're all about money. But let's hit them the pain point because it is about money. And if you're going to have people boycotting whatever you put there for the foreseeable future, then you're not going to make as much money.
That's exactly right. But really, we're also, really wanting to reach out to the community. If you know someone through a local news station, we're going to
get
be
the word
working
out.
with someone to get them on iHeartRadio next week as well. Actually, Michael and Deb don't know that, but we're working to get them on the radio next week to talk about this. But, someone's got to be out there who can get us, on the local news, get this heard and understood. And again, like I said, if we can't reach this landlord, okay, then maybe there's someone out there who can, bridge the gap for us and pay that difference and want to be investor or, again, want to invest to move the location somewhere else, right?
All
because that's
options
what's
are on the
important.
table. All options are on the table.